Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. And in today's video we're going to be looking at a palette bingo, which I haven't done in a very long time. But I decided, since I have a new Nomad palette that has been recently added to my collection, to just create a palette bingo with all of my Nomad palettes. I was also thinking about doing the same with Cosmic Beauty because I have a lot of palettes from them as well. So let me know if you would be interested in that. But I have all of these palettes and we're gonna be playing with them today. So stay tuned. And in case you're new here, hi, my name is Sasha. I love indie makeup, I love colorful makeup, I love eyeshadows especially, and indie brands. And yeah, that's what we're gonna be playing with today. So what I have here, I have the Nomad Chicago Speak Easy, which is my palette 20, which is one of the palettes in my Project 20 uses. Then I have my Polar Express, which is a gorgeous palette. The Fuji 5 Flags palette, one of my favorites. Like, it is so gorgeous. Then the newest one is the Route 66. Nomad Ireland Wild Atlantic Way. This is the oldest palette from them. I also had the what did I used to have? The like tropical, it had turquoises on the cover, and I had something else from them as well, which I don't have anymore. I don't remember. And then also the Fairytale Europe. So the way this project, or like this type of video, works, since we have 6 palettes, and usually I do use like 6 or 7 shades per look, we're just gonna roll 1 shade per each palette using a random number generator. And yeah, that will be our color story. So the first 3 are 15 pans. So we're just gonna get number from 1 to 15. Okay, so I have the Pretty Random app, you can see that. And first up, we're gonna be rolling from the Chicago Speak Easy. So as I said, from 1 to 15. I don't know if it will work. Yeah. Okay, so we have number 7. And number 7, so it's 5, 6, 7. So the 7th shade is the shade Aviation, which is this beautiful like green to purple. Maybe you can see that. Let me actually swatch it for you. So this is how it looks like. It is gorgeous shade. They have actually used quite a bit lately. Like, I've been really focusing on this palette. So that's Aviation. Oops. Then we have the Fuji, and again that's gonna be from 1 to 15. So let's see. Okay, so it's 11. Which again, 5, 10, and this is 11. This bright red called Burning Bush. I don't really wear red, so we'll see what I'm gonna figure out with this one. But it's let me see. Okay, this one is like very vibrant red, and it's slightly has it like bluey tone to it. Usually these are not reds that I prefer, but like it looks really pretty with the shade Aviation. Yeah, so that's for the Fuji. And then we have the Polar Express, which is the same number of shades. So again, 1 through 15, and we have 10. Ooh, that will work because number 10 is the Santa's helpers. Yeah, this like cooler, like dustier berry red. So let me swatch that for you. Yeah, that one is a lot darker, but a lot. It's way darker. So, okay, the swatch isn't like straight, but whatever. So that's scented helpers. So I guess the mats will be red. And then I have to change the number setting because then the last 3 palettes are 18 pans. So yeah, now we're gonna go from the max will be 18, and we're gonna start with the Ireland palette. Kind of curious what we're gonna get from this. So okay, number 5. And number 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is like reddish bronzy neutral. Okay, I guess the universe wants me to focus on like reddish shades, which I'm not really into, but that's what I like about these types of videos, that they kind of force me to do something that I wouldn't do, like ever. So yeah, I forgot how it's called. Glyphs of Mohair. I haven't used this shade a lot. Like, I don't think it has more than 3 uses, because I just don't really use these shades. Then we have the Route 66. So again, let me... Why does it always lock? Okay. Number 8. So it's 6, 7, 8. Which is this corally red, and it's called Munger Mouse. It's this shade. I actually like, there's part of me that wants to try to use this shade as a lip shade, but also like it wouldn't look good on my lips, I think. It kind of looks like a lipstick shade, like a retro lipstick. So yeah, at least it's like a cohesive color story. And now the Fairy Tale Europe. If you're gonna get another like coral, because this one doesn't have red, but it has coral, so if we're gonna get that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, number 7. So we have, this is 6 and this is 7, which is an inner corner shade. It is gorgeous. It's called Snow White, and it is just the most perfect shade from this palette. I like a lot of the shades, but this one is just stunning. Did I even swatch that in the... Yeah, well, this is how it looks like. I haven't swatched that the best, but it is gorgeous. It has like a bit of green in there. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Okay, so let me prime my lids first. Well, no, let me get the eyeshadow from my fingers first so that I can prime my lids. I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Mega Last eyeshadow primer, which I'm running out of. I'm like very low on product. And I don't even remember when I filmed my last palette bingo. Like, I don't think it was sooner than autumn, and even that feels like incorrect. I probably was in the summer, which, like, considering that it almost is summer again, like, I just had no time. And I feel really bad for it because I do love palette bingos. I know that nobody watches them, but I love them, okay? And I sometimes want to do things that I like. Well, I always do things that I like, but you know, I don't only want to think about, is it something that I like that will get views? So we're gonna start with the Fuji palette because that is the lightest matte shade that we have, and I always start with mattes. That's just kind of like the way I do my makeup. So the shade Burning Bush that you saw. What am I gonna use for a brush? Like something more, I don't really want to make it like too red, so maybe I'm gonna do more like a diffusing brush. I have this Sigma one. It's called Soft Blend number 10. It was like an eye brush set for like for eyes. Yeah, that's, wow, I'm so great at English. like so great. And let me zoom you in because I forgot to do that prior. Okay, here goes nothing. Like it is a well pigmented shade. What I like about it, it actually stays red. It doesn't blend too much into pink. Even on me, which I'm not the best undertone to like review reds because you know, um reds, these types of reds are more for cool tone people, and obviously I have more like a um neutral olive, like well, olive neutral undertone. So red can look really bad on me and it doesn't blend well on me. This is a good eyeshadow, like it actually stays red. I remember that was like quite similar, just like a little bit more bluer red in the Udens Eye Merry Christmas palette, which I never shut up about. But that red was awful. Like it turned into like a magenta pink on me. So this one, I mean, like it has a bit of like that pinky magenta, but only like a little bit. Most of the eyeshadow looks quite red and quite nice. So, and like, you know, the way that it looks in the pan. So I do enjoy this one way more. And like Nomad has nice mattes. They're not the most pigmented mattes, but they are nice. And you can build them up to be whatever you want them to be, unless you want like a full-on black smoky eye. You won't be able to do that with Nomad because I don't even think that they've ever had a black shade in their palette. Like I don't even think the Haunted Europe, which I haven't filmed with yet, but I might do my next review with it because I posted a poll of 4 different palettes and I'm kind of letting you pick which one I should review first. And last time I checked, the Haunted Europe was winning, but it's still like I'm not gonna start the review until, well, it's Thursday now and it's not gonna be until Monday, so there's still quite a lot of days for you to vote. And who knows, because in the beginning there was completely different palette winning and then it changed again and now it's like, you know, but it's very similar. Like I think that one had like 38% votes and then the other ones were like 30, so you know there's a very little. I'm also doing the same on the lower lash line, by the way, just kind of talking and doing, but I feel like since you see what I'm doing I don't really need to explain that. It's very self-explanatory. Okay. I'm gonna use so much of the inner corner shade just to kind of make it more me, because that one is like pink green and that works wonderfully with my complexion. But the red's not so much. Okay. I don't want to like make it too red, like put it everywhere, because I'm still scared of that. Maybe one day I'll accept them, but I've been able to accept every single color except reds. I'm just still not there. And it's like that is literally the only scary color in my collection. But we have our big girl pants, and yeah, let's get into the Polar Express palette. It's still so pretty. And which one? Yeah, Santa's Helpers. Just like a nice berry shade. It's slightly muted. I feel like it is very like Christmassy. I'm just using that in the outer part, just like slightly. This one has a bit more like brown in it as well, so I feel like if you use that with maybe like yellows or oranges, it will definitely look very brown and more just like a super warm brown and not red, which that's what I like. Like if I'm gonna have a red in my palette, I want to make it work with like these warm tones. I don't really like these like cool tone blue reds. They just don't work on me, as I said, and I don't like them even just like on like as decoration or on clothing, whether it's on me or other. I just don't really like these types of shades, and that's normal. A lot of people have way more preferences than I do. I literally just have one color. Okay, I feel like that's enough. Oh my gosh, this is so red. Whatever. I know it's just an eyeshadow. It's just unusual for me. And that says a lot. Naked glitter primer on the lids. It's gonna be like a simple look. Maybe I'm gonna do like an eyeliner or something more fun, but I want the base to be pretty simple because I don't really know what shape I would do that would... Like, I feel like every single shape I would do except this would be even bigger and more noticeable, and I don't really want that. But I mean, these two blended so nicely together, like, for... from the blending perspective and the way it looks, like, it's nice. And if I was different undertone, I would be screaming with joy. So, what am I gonna do on the lids? I think I want to make the lids like more me. So I'm gonna use the shade Aviation, and now which order I'm gonna start with the shade from the Route 66 collection, the Monja Mouse, in the outer part. Then I'm gonna use the shade Aviation in the inner half because that's more like, this is more me. Obviously inner corner in the inner corner. And I'm gonna use this shade, which I really don't care for that much, like the Cliffs of Mohair, on the lower lash line, because it's just kind of a boring shade. For me, it's just not what I normally go for. So let me take the Route 66 and the shade Monja Mouse on a flat brush. I always use like flat, but like not flat and natural bristle brush, because that really picks up shimmers nicely, and I just like the way that it looks on the eye. So let me use that in the second half. This one is very soft. It doesn't have too much of a base, and it is quite sparkly. Like, it doesn't look like that in the pan. I think when I first tried this palette, I said about this shade that it's like the least sparkly one, but on the eyes, this one actually looks really nice. It just looks very unassuming in the pan, but actually when you wear it, it's quite nice, and it stretches over a lot of different shades. See, it made it slightly more warm. Like, it's still not like orange, but it's very warm red right now, instead of the cooler one that was there just with the matte shade. So yeah, because it has some of that like orangey peach, it worked. Now, oh yeah, now the Chicago Speakeasy and the shade Aviation. This one is so pretty. Let me just... okay. Yeah, that will make it nicely pink and like pinky purple, which I'm completely comfortable in. And this one is so sparkly. Like, I think the Chicago and the Fairytale Europe are the best shimmer formula that they've ever had. The Chicago is very like soft, sparkly, multichromy, and slightly even like... well, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it is such a soft, very like multichromy formula, or duochromy, whichever. Like, I feel like they're all multichromes, but I've also seen people getting like not happy about people calling them multichromes and being very like insisting a lot that it's just a duochrome. I see more than two colors, so for me it's multichrome, but maybe I'm just hallucinating. Then we're gonna take the shade Snow White from the Fairytale Europe. Sorry that I hold it like this, but I don't want the spine to crack, because I've heard people say that this little part then gets like unmanageable, so I don't really want that. Otherwise I would crack the spine. Yeah, so that in the inner corner. Like, do you see this? Oh, Jesus. Would you believe that this is Nomad? Because I wouldn't. Like, if you told me that this is Terra Moons, I'd believe you. It is just so gorgeous and so sparkly. This is literally my favorite shade. That and the shade Prince Charming. This one, I'm sorry. They did something so incredible with these two. Like, obviously the rest of them are just as gorgeous, but it just... they're my preferred shades when it comes to the flips and the way that they look and all that. I'm gonna use that in the... I always like kind of bring that a little bit to the lower lash line as well, because I feel like that just works with my eye shape. Obviously, every single person wears their inner corner slightly differently. I also always put it on this area, even though when I open my eyes, you can barely see that area. But I don't know, that's just what I'm used to, and always like bring the inner corner like kind of like this, just to lighten the crease area in the inner part of the lid, because I don't want that to be too dark. So that's what I do a lot of the times. If I have like darker shadows and I don't have a pastel matte on, that's just kind of the way that I go about it. And now let me get a different brush. And the last palette, which is the Ireland and the Cliffs of... Is it mohair? I've heard that word a couple times. I think I've watched like a natural like documentary about Ireland, and they definitely mentioned multiple of these like castles and places that are on this in this palette, but I don't remember the way that it's pronounced. Recently I saw, what's her name? She played Penelope in Bridgerton. Nicola Coughlin. I'm not completely sure how the surname looks like, so I don't know how to pronounce it. But I've heard her multiple times pronouncing this, and I still don't remember how you're supposed to say that. Like, I've heard her so many times, and I still don't know how to pronounce that. Like, what's wrong with me? Seriously, like, how can I just completely forget that? Okay. So, sorry, there's a bit of sparkle in my eye. But that is... it's a lot. I know it's a lot. But I'm gonna take a eyeliner, something colorful. Pink, maybe? White. White would be like really interesting. White would really like spruce it up. Or the pink one. I think I want to do like a really light eyeliner. Or should I do like black and make it like really... Should I be playful or like a bad bee? Let me take my eyeliner palette and let me just do that off camera to decide, because otherwise this video would be 70 hours long, and I'll just come back with the finished product. Okay, so I'm back with the finished look. Sorry that my hair is kind of everywhere, but yeah, I don't know what to do with them today. They're kind of all over the place. But anyways, I actually went in with the white eyeliner. I feel like that makes it a little bit more playful and fun. I also changed my shirt because it just wasn't really working with this color story. So obviously I have all of the palettes that I've mentioned that we're playing with. Then I used my Summoner gel liner in the shade 11 from Woodens Eye. I have the Rimmel and then Free Concealer in the shade 10 Fair, the Essence Lash Princess mascara, then this Glisten and Lin's water activated liner palette, and I have the shade Dumping Just Do. Then I have my Revolution Fast Base Blush in the shade Peach, and the where is it? Oh, the Chromebook palette by DD Signature. It's the Chromebook Volume 2. I used it as a highlighter. I have the shade Monarch. This beautiful, beautiful one on my cheeks. It's just so pretty. It's just like a very soft pinky pinky highlight. This one looks so gorgeous. This one, and then also I think it was the shade My Lady. I used that once and it's just stunning. So that's everything for this look. Let me actually zoom you in just for the last time. Okay, oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe like this. So yeah, this is the final look. Let me know what you think. Like, it's definitely out of my comfort zone, but also I feel like the sparkle made it a lot more me. And actually, I don't mind the shade Cliffs of Mohair because I feel like, again, it makes it more orangey, which is definitely something I prefer. I was kind of thinking about doing like a neon yellow eyeliner. I feel like that could also be so cool, and maybe I'm gonna try that once. But yeah, if I wear pinks and stuff like that, I usually mix them with like a little bit of red, but just for me this look to be like really me, I would use pastel pink in this area in the crease to make it like more me, because just reds are a bit, as I said, a bit too scary. But I feel like this look is still pretty me and I don't feel too uncomfortable in that. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you enjoyed this palette bingo. If you have any other brand you would want me to get into, just please write down a comment. We can do, as I said, Cosmic Beauty, Udin's Eye. What else do I have multiple palettes of? Unearthly, Gourmand Girls, Colourpop. I feel like there's more, but I can't remember. Let me kind of think. Maybe we could also do like a palette bingo of my singles. That could be cool. You could definitely try that. So yeah, just let me know down below, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow with another one. So bye.